Hello, I'm Brian Eslick from How to Automotive. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to get from this to this. So this year I wanted to start the year off with a bang, and I wanted to transform my shop and just put mass effort into getting organized, cleaned up. And I just wanted to make my workspace to be that much more enjoyable to be in and hang around, because I spent a ton of time in it. So the first thing I did was I went out and I got this Harbor Freight US General cart here to organize my tools. My tools were crazy, out of control, all piled on everywhere. There was tools everywhere. So I got the US General cart here and I loaded it all up with the tools, spread some tools around and got things going. So I'll walk you through that and we'll take a look at that. But before we do that, I wanted to show you one of the biggest projects I was wanting to do forever and ever and ever, and I finally did it. And that was to insulate the shop and to put up new shop lighting. So check this out. One of the reasons why I'm doing that is because the ceiling used to have, or the roof used to have a leak. You can see the watermark there. I want to cover all that up. So the roof has been replaced. The leak has been fixed. So now I'm going to put the foam board up, like I said, to keep it insulated. And I'm going to paint it black just to black everything out, make it look nice and fresh. And then we're going to replace the lighting in the shop. So I went to Home Depot and got a bunch of this foam board here. This is an 1.5 inch thick foam board. If you wanted to reflect the light back down, it'd be pretty cool to put the silver side up. But for aesthetic reasons, I'm going to paint it flat black. So I'm going to black the ceiling out. It's going to make the light pop off and dramatic effect for the shop. So I got a bunch of cans of flat black spray paint, and I spray painted all the panels flat black. So for a little over $200, I got enough of paneling to cover the ceiling of the shop, and then I got all the paint that I needed to spray paint it. All right, so now I got all the foam panels painted, and what I'm going to do is go up here in the ceiling. I'm going to measure between rafters, each one, and then cut the foam board. So the foam boards will be cut into shapes. So I'll cut them and then I'll wedge them in the ceiling between the rafters of it, and we'll completely cover the entire ceiling from front to back. And then once we get that all done, then we'll rip out the lighting and we're gonna put up the hexagon lighting. That'll be in. So hopefully this will take me quite a few hours to cut this into shape and get this up there. And then after that, we're going to tackle the toolbox, and I'll show you everything we did with the toolbox.
Some measurements between there. I transferred those over to the foam board. I'm going to cut the foam board off, and then we'll install this in between. To cut the foam board, I just used a really sharp knife and just saw it down the line. So I cut the foam board slightly larger than the opening, and that way I was able to press it in there and it held tight without any screws or any fasteners or anything like that. All right, we got the first piece of insulation installed. You can see it's all nice and blacked out all the way along. So we'll just repeat that process each one of the rafters, and then the rafters that are white, I will probably spray paint those black or paint them black to match the ceiling, and then we'll just keep going all the way down until the whole ceiling is covered, and then we'll tackle this janky lighting that's in here. And it just came in the mail. I'll show you what we're working with. So we're going with some hexagon lighting here. They come in these little modular tubes that you plug in to these adapters and create the hexagon shapes. So we'll lay this all out and get it installed in the ceiling. It's going to be pretty cool.
The ceiling is all insulated here, all the way from the front to the back, and everything is blacked out. We got the hexagon lighting all ready to go. So now I need to lay this out and come up with a plan how to install that in the ceiling. So I'm gonna start working on that next. All right, so I'm starting to assemble the hexagon lighting here. So it's a million little pieces to snap together, but it goes together pretty easy. These pieces just all snap into these little fittings here. You just press them in until these tabs lock in. And I'll show you a little one here, so you can see the electrical connections in there. And then on the inside, you can see the connections in there. So they just snap together, and you just start assembling the outline of it. But It should look pretty freaking cool once I'm done. And then I can get rid of all this janky lighting that's in here, get rid of all this stuff. These shop lights right here, temporarily now, will go out here in the carport and replace the old crusty one in the soil. So one of the things I learned about this lighting is it's completely customizable. So you don't have to build it to the design that it comes on the picture on the box. You can modify it and make it as big or as small as you want. And you just keep adding these connectors together, and you keep adding the light. And so you can design, you can get crazy and come up with some custom designs. So I originally was going to run it the way that it was mounted in the box. But as you'll see as the video goes on, I totally customized it and made it fit my shop. So I made it work for what the space I'm working in. So if you're interested in adding hexagon lighting to your shop, I will leave links for it in the description of the video. That way, if you want to pick those up, you can grab those there. The one I'm working with here was designed to cover a 16-foot long by 8-foot wide area, and it was roughly $200 bucks. As you can see, I got the first set of LED lights up here. I got them underneath the loft here, and I've also got the perimeter, working on the perimeter going up. So I got these wired up here, are mounted directly to the studs. So these are mounted through the bolt holes here with wood screws directly into the studs. It's supposed to be 16 on the center, but obviously construction is not perfect, so I had to add some blocks of wood here to make it line up in there. But I mounted them; they're solid as can be. These things are super light, so you don't have to have a lot of screws and stuff holding them on there. Like for instance, the perimeter here, I mounted them on wire through those little bolt holes there and got it suspended on wire there. This is just temporary wiring for right now, just for testing. Once I got everything all laid out, I'll clean all the wiring up on it and stuff. It'd be nice and neat. So there's the perimeter, and then we're going to start working on the hex that goes in the center of the ceiling. So I got the main hexagon shape assembled here, and now I need to get it up into the ceiling. So what I've done is I got it measured to the dead center between the outer perimeter. I hooked the cable up to it right there, as you can see there. So basically what I did was I looped it over the bolt and then pulled it until it's floating. So now this is off the ground, hanging by the one cable. So now, because I'm working by myself, so now I'm gonna swing it up. I'm gonna kind of figure out where it's gonna lay over here and basically find the dead center of there, put another screw, and then start another cable there, and then pull it up, and then I'll be able to swing it left or right to work around the obstacles in here. And if it's in the way, I may have to disassemble the thing and go around pillars and stuff like that. Just got to work with what I got, and if that doesn't work out, then I'll break it apart a few panels and install a few panels at a time. But this is what I'm going to try to do. And then as you can see, I got the perimeter all the way up and around, the hex below or up and around. And then I highly modified this kit, so there's a lot of pieces left over. So what I'll do is I'll put the smaller pieces here in the center, and then I'm going to use the old lighting that was in here. I'll put it off to the side, and I have another one exactly like this one, and I'll put it over there. So it'll be strip light, and then hexagon right in the center, and that'll light up the carport. All right, so like I said, I got the cable hooked up on this end. I drilled it dead center, pulled the cable, and pulled it up like this. Now you can see it's kind of floating. Mount the cable over here and try to get this kind of in the ballpark and level. Give it a little support. Strength. So I got to figure out a plan how to mount this. And see if I can okay. So now we got a support. Now I'll just move over there, and I'll just keep doing it back and forth until I can get this pretty level, and then I'll maneuver it left or right by pulling and loosening the cables and just kind of work it until I get everything dialed in and centered. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm doing this all by myself, and I'm just going to put one up, get down, take a look around, see how level it is, see if it needs tweaking, and then just keep working it until I get it where I'm happy. Bam! Huge difference. Love it. Love it. It looks amazing. All the way back there. Loft. Under the loft. Light. So now that we're done with the ceiling installation and the lighting project, we're going to move over to the toolbox, and I'm going to show you what I did to get organized into toolboxes here in the tool carts. And so come with me, we're going to check these out. We're going to walk you through the drawers and show you everything. So the first thing I did was get the top of the cart organized. So in these drawers over here were these drill bits and stuff. So all that stuff was in these two drawers here, and these drawers still need work, but these were all full of that. And a little bit overflowed into that, and this drawer is still pretty full, and it was just a big mess and a jumble mess. So I moved all that stuff here, got it all organized. Next is the ratchet drawer here. All these ratchets were over here on the side here, and they were just jumbled up over here, and this was just a complete mess. So now I got this drawer organized, and I got all my ratchets in one place where I can find them and stuff. Over here is some brake caliper depressing tools. They were up top here. So up top here was a complete mess on this cart right here. It was crazy. I couldn't find anything. Things were just piled up on top of stuff. So now this stuff here you see here is just automotive hardware, you know, fuses and shrink wrap and wire crimps. This is the wire crimps with the low temp solder. Pretty cool stuff here. Anyways, those type of things live here now. In the drawer here is overflow of different assortments of scrapers and panel popping tools, and then this one here is like a trailer hitch cleaning kit. You know, you can clean out the terminals on trailer hitches and stuff. I moved those from those were also in those drawers over there. So they're just thinning things out, making it where I can find things and get to in a hurry. Next drawer down is sockets. Now all these sockets were up here on top, and then all kinds of stuff was piled on top of them, and I could never get to the sockets and find them quickly. So I moved them in there. The next drawer is more sockets. Like I said, just they were all living over here on this toolbox, but I could not find anything because they were piled up on. So I just moved those down there. And down here below, these are all sockets as well. These are 1/2-inch drive, 3/8 drive, specialty sockets, like sensor sockets and stuff like that. So these all live below here. And that's what's there. So that gave me some room to spread out and make all the tools way more organized and easier to find and get to. So now all the power tools are all in these drawers here. I can get to them. I'm still working on this drawer. I'm going to organize this out, you know, make it all nice and neat. And then there's going to be some extra room in here when I'm done. Same with this drawer. This drawer will be gone through and thinned out a little bit. Hammer's drawers, these were literally all piled on top of each other. There was other, like the overflow stuff that was over there. It was in these drawers here. So now they're a little bit more easy to get to. The plier drawer, I'm going to reach out to a company and see if I can find something to organize the pliers. To help with the plier drawer, I picked up the Toolbox widget plier organizer. This is a little modular set that you can snap together. I'll open these up and then you can organize your pliers, as you can see here. The way these work is they are little magnetic individual module plier holders, so you can slide these apart in these little grooves, and you can slide them in the grooves here, like so, and then you can put your pliers in like that and hold them up, right? And they have different widths, you know, thin ones and thicker ones for different types of pliers. So I only picked up one set here, but I'm going to put as many of them in here as I can and make this a little tidier. And that'll also make the space in here a little bit more where you can actually get more tools in here. As you can see with the Toolbox widget plier organizer, it made a huge difference in organizing the drawer. Much better, much more easy to find stuff. If I had a deeper drawer, I would get another set and I would stand even more up. But probably with the pliers that I have left, is pretty much gonna have to deal with that. I might pick up one more set because I do have quite a few more pliers to put in there. But I haven't even opened these up and busted them out of the package yet. I need to bust these out and do a review on these. These are some of my favorite ones. Here is one of the tools right here. Let's see, this is the original twin grip pliers, and they come out with 2 additional sizes here. This was the OG ones. I've been using these for a couple of years now. These are an amazing pair of pliers, and I'm super pumped that they came out with some larger and smaller ones. So I'll bust those out and we'll be doing some reviews on that later on. And in the top drawer here is the wrench drawer, and the wrench drawer is looking pretty good. I got it thinned out. So over here on the bench, these are all cases. These are full of different saws and stuff like that. And the Milwaukee packed out stuff here. I got my Formula One Lego set here, put together a few weeks ago. Pretty cool. It was pretty fun to do that. Battery chargers here. And this little toolbox here, I'm housing camera gear. So this is my mount for my car. So when I mount cameras on the car, that type of stuff. Battery packs here, more microphones and stuff. And I got more camera gear that I'm going to eventually move into this. Over here is more pack out stuff. This is all stuff that needs to be gone through. This is kind of the overflow that was removed from the toolboxes. And now I need to go through this and find a permanent home for all this stuff here. But in this case here, this is a supercharger and forged batteries from Milwaukee here that they sent me out here. I need to get these put to use. And the cool thing is they can charge this 12 amp hour HD battery in about 15 minutes up to 80%. With the supercharger. The supercharger has cooling abilities and stuff, so I need to do a more detailed video on that. It's a pretty cool product that came out from Milwaukee. One of the things I'm excited about is over here I got my parts bin. Now this is a Harbor Freight parts bin. It's not the best quality in the world, but it's doing a really good job of keeping all my fasteners and stuff over here. And this is a mix of car and house stuff here. But so I got all that stuff in there, and it's easier to find, and it just took out a lot of clutter from my carport area. This right here, you see here, is a future project here. This is an old locker that you would find like at school. It used to be maroon. I stripped it all down, took it all apart, and painted it. This is kind of the condition it used to look like here. So these are some of the parts that I need to continue working out there. So I need to sand those down and basically make it look pretty like the blue you see here. And this right here is just a workbench that I've taken apart and I don't have room for. So got to find a home for that. And then back there is an air compressor and a refrigerator, and then my service cart's back here. And that's pretty much it for the inside of the little shop. I cleaned off the workbench here and got it all cleaned up and moved some things around. And I put all the Lego stuff and car stuff over here on the shelf. So this shop is not necessarily a man cave. It's more of a functional shop. I also brought some screwdrivers from work. I bought a new set of screwdrivers from work, and I just mounted those there. So like I said, this is a functional shop. So I will link up the lights, and also I'm going to put in the description the links for the Toolbox widget. They make awesome wrench organizers, socket organizers, plier organizers. They're an awesome little company, and you can totally customize the toolbox with these right here. So I will put these links in the description as well. I'd like to thank you guys for hanging out with me and checking out all the upgrades I've done to the shop so far and gotten organized. Thank you so much. Remember, the links for the lights and the Toolbox widget will be in the description of the video. I'd like to thank you again for watching, and be sure to subscribe.